Thanksgiving is a special night.
Welcome to Zach and Ira's podcast. He's Zach. I'm Ira. We're in a new venue today. We're in my house. You know, we figured we'd try something a little different, mainly because of the Thanksgiving holiday. You know, we figured we'd try something out.
Why not?
But let's get started. We'll start on the sports.
Sports news of the week.
I don't have a bunch. I know you got a little bit, but first one for me. We've started the last 2 weeks with this, and now it's gone the other way. Celtics finally lost to the Heat to snap their winning streak.
I kind of had called it.
Yeah.
Knew they were going to lose one of those games. They had 4 games in 6 nights.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like the matchup with the Heat coming off that. You know, they were so tired in the game against the Mavericks.
Yep.
I just had a feeling they were losing a game.
Yeah.
Very soon.
I'm glad they did, believe it or not. I mean, it's tough when you get on a winning streak like that. You don't. I know it sounds stupid to say, but you don't want to do it for too long because then you get exhausted. You put so much effort into keeping the winning streak alive. You could go on a really bad losing streak after. You know, fortunately they didn't. They came back last night.
No, they came right back and won. I mean, like Maserati had said before, Tony Maserati was like, this team, they're winning. It's great, but you kind of want the young kid to feel a loss so that they're hungrier.
Right.
You know, if they keep winning, they're gonna think this NBA stuff's easy.
Yeah.
But you know,
although Jaylen Brown's making it look really easy.
Yeah, he is. I think he's actually out today though, because he's going to his friend's funeral.
Oh yeah.
And he might not make it back in time. Kind of sucks. You know, feel bad for the kid, but he's been showing up. You know, and luckily, like you said, they came back and won right away yesterday. Pretty dominant against the Magic. They had a 28-point lead at one point in the third. Kind of cut it loose. You know.
Yeah.
Finally, good to have a Celtics game where it was a blowout.
Right.
So a lot of the young kids got playing time. A lot of the rookies, Nadia, Yabusele got some playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. Daniel Tice got a little bit more playing time. So it was good to see, you know, them win a blowout and not have to come down to the wire because my heart can't take it anymore.
The ability of them to come back from such big deficits all the
ridiculous.
time. I thought it was going to happen again against the Heat. They got within one.
They should have won that game. Yeah. My gripe is Marcus Smart missing a free throw, and then Al Horford misses 2 free throws. Like that was
Smart missing is kind of started the avalanche back the other way. You know, for the Heat.
So it's just like crap. You know, the momentum you get in the momentum. You tie the game if you get those free throws, and then very next drive down, I believe Horford misses 2. So it's like, there you go. Yeah. You know, you could be tied or up, and now you're giving the momentum back to the Heat. Yeah. Like I said, they were tired.
Yeah, they were. But you know what? It's already they're 17-3 now.
It was the night before Thanksgiving too, so they were really thinking like, "Hey, I want to get home." You know, a lot of those people probably didn't have that on their mind. Right. You know, Jaylen Brown's still mourning his friend. It was time. Yeah. It wasn't bad. Yeah. The other end of it though is the Cavs are on a winning streak. They're 8-2 in the last 10, and they've won 7 in a row. Yeah. So
it's to be expected, though.
No,
I mean,
it is.
LeBron's not going to let his team.
Yeah, I think they were losing yesterday too and came back and won. So you know they're now in 3rd place. When 2 weeks ago they were out of the playoffs.
Right. Well, it's still early though. I mean,
very early.
20 games in, a quarter of the season.
I mean, they're 4.5 back from the Celtics, which is kind of funny considering 2 weeks ago they were like really back. Yeah. But they're starting to get their things down. And it's going to be what it is. It's going to be the Celtics and the Heat. I mean, the Cavs, 1 and 2. Yep. And Cavs probably will catch them, I think. You know, it sucks to say, but, you know, you get a motivated LeBron, who I don't like, but the guy's going to, he's going to get that team going. Yeah. They did take a hit yesterday. Not that, I guess it's not a huge hit. Maybe they were counting on him to be more with Isaiah Thomas still out. But Derrick Rose is basically saying he's done. He's not feeling it. His body's he's not healing. He's kind of it kind of came out yesterday. He's just not feeling being in pain anymore. He's sick of having to always come back from injuries. Yeah. He probably was done a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but he kept trying to force
his career has been coming back from injuries.
Yeah, it really sucks. His knees probably kill him, you know. He's had so many knee injuries that him trying to probably play a game is like, you know, just probably the most excruciating thing every time. So he's probably done. They were counting on him to be a little bit more. And Dwayne Wade's old.
Yeah.
So I still don't trust the Cavs when it comes down later in the season because they're an older team.
Yeah, they're gonna wear down.
Isaiah Thomas is supposedly starting to work out already.
Oh, nice.
So originally they didn't think he'd be back till January. I have a feeling he's going to be back for that Christmas Day matchup with the Celtics.
Oh, that would be
awesome would that be?
That would be interesting. That's not
Isaiah
too far away,
Thomas
though.
versus
That's a month from today.
Isaiah Thomas versus Kyrie Irving on Christmas Day. Cavs versus Celtics. Like that is awesome. I'm excited for that matchup.
Yeah.
More than Christmas.
All right, so that's basketball. Football stuff. I know we're doing it today on a Saturday.
On a Saturday, so it's a little bit different.
So last week we had that Chiefs crap fest.
Oh God.
Yeah, how'd that lock of the week work for you?
Damn it, Chiefs!
So the Giants still suck and are terrible, but they beat the Chiefs. Somehow.
Horrible.
I don't know how.
With field goals, I think it was 12-9.
Yeah.
All field goals.
Yep.
Like Hunt has not shown up.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill did nothing.
Yep.
Oh my God, Andy Reid is like something like, I think he's like 13-2 coming off a bye or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a great record off the bye, and they both come off byes and they freaking suck. Oh.
Yeah. So Alex Smith gonna lose his job?
No, I don't think
You
so.
don't think they're gonna put in the rookie there?
I don't think so. I think they're still they're doing this for the rest of the year. Alex Smith is their best chance, and I think this might be his last year with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs are in desperate mode. They just went out and signed Darrelle Revis 2 days ago.
Yep.
Well,
I think if he puts out another display like he did last week, I have a feeling that the rookie's gonna come back. I can't remember his name.
Monahan. Oh my God, begins with an M.
Yeah. But I just think that you don't let a guy go that bad for 2, 3, 4 games and just leave him in.
I don't see them taking him out. I mean, he's not throwing a lot of picks or anything.
Yeah.
It's just the offense isn't moving. They had some injuries too.
Pat Mahomes, I think is his name.
It's Pat Mahoney, yeah, Mahone. But I don't know. I don't think they'll make the change this year. It's Andy Reid respects Alex Smith, you know.
Yeah, but respect can only get you so far. Because believe it or not, they're still in the hunt for the playoffs. So
they, I mean, I was talking about the other day. That division could be won by an 8-8 team.
Yeah.
The Chargers are on a little bit of a roll. Chiefs are on a downswing. The Broncos are just a mess. They're 3-7 on a 6-game losing streak, and they just have a fight in Thanksgiving Day practice. They had a huge fight. They had a player that showed up late to practice on Thanksgiving, so he got cut that day. They cut him right on Thanksgiving, Lorenzo Doss. A big fight. Players, getting thrown out of practice on Thanksgiving Day. Tensions are high. Like I said, 6-game losing streak. That defense, again, Vance Joseph, maybe should be fired if he can't get that defense to go. They're playing the Raiders this week. Raiders, they fired their defensive coordinator after that game against the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
They're a mess. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that division's who we thought was a strong division. It's been strong for years, and now it's going to be 8-8 probably, 9-7 winning that division. Yeah. Chargers, who started off 0-4, have the chance at 5-6 now to win their division.
Yeah.
Chargers are on fire. Oh my God, Keenan Allen is an animal. He tore up the Cowboys on Thursday. Speaking of Thanksgiving football, what dud fest! Oh, I mean the Lions and Vikings game was pretty good.
Yeah, Case Keenum went off.
Case Keenum's.
Thank God. I forgot to change my lineup this week, and he was left in as my quarterback over the guy from the Jets, and I'm just like, oh.
I think it's time for them
to do that.
I think it's time for people to stop questioning if Case Keenum's going to get benched for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
I think they need to keep Case Keenum in.
Well,
and let him know it's his team.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe him wondering if Teddy Bridgewater is going to come in is making him perform better. So maybe they need to keep that going.
It's funny though. Like he's a free agent after the year too. He signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So he's going to get paid next year to be a starter somewhere. And they're talking that the Vikings offensive coordinator could get a coaching job. So imagine him and Keenan going somewhere together.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It is. It's happened before.
But the dud fest of the Cowboys and Chargers game was slow at first half, and then next thing you know, the Chargers blow the doors off them. Another week in a row with a kicker going against the Cowboys gets hurt. They had a punter out there trying to hit extra points, missing left and right. And then that game, Redskins versus freaking Giants, was like I wanted to fall asleep during that game.
Yeah, well, look at the two teams that were in it.
Ugh, goddamn, awful. So I was disappointed in the matchups beforehand, and it disappointed all night. So you got some big games this week, and you got some teams that need to really win to keep pace, because the NFC, honestly, I was talking about it the other day. The NFC is going to have a team that's probably with 10 wins miss the playoffs this year. On the other side, in the AFC, you're going to have a team that's 8-8 probably, or 9-7 make the playoffs.
Yeah.
The NFC is going to have a team with 10 wins most likely miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The Panther, that NFC South division, you got the Panthers, you got the Saints, and you got the Falcons all going for a playoff spot there. You got the Seahawks and Rams, you got the Vikings and Lions, and you got why can't I think about it right now? And oh my God, the Eagles. Oh, the Eagles, 9-1,
yeah,
crushing it.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Another division that we thought was going to be strong, NFC East.
Yeah,
and only the Eagles are showing up. So
yeah,
it's
Well, I'm just waiting to see the Eagles falter in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, this week you got the Chiefs versus Bills, and Tyrod Taylor's coming back. He's coming to prove something.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, they announced him. I mean, that coach needs to be fired for benching him. That guy had 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the year.
Yeah.
And you bench him. Yeah. Like, come on. So there's some big games this week. You got the Broncos, Raiders. Raiders need this win.
Absolutely.
You got the Titans versus Colts. Titans need this win to keep pace with the Jags. Seahawks need to beat the 49ers, which we'll come back to that. Saints versus Rams. That's the big game.
That's going to be a good one.
Saints versus Rams is a good game. Marcus Latimer's out for the Saints, so the corners are taking some hit.
Yeah.
Rams are coming off a loss, to the Vikings. They need to get back in the win column to stay pace over Seahawks. That's going to be a good game. Could go in either way. And then Packers versus Steelers are on Sunday Night Football. Oh, poor Packers. They'd be in the playoffs if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt.
Yeah. Probably.
So some good games this week.
Yeah.
Not the best, but
yeah. Going back to last week, that Patriots game in Mexico City. The game itself wasn't so great, but Mexico City was loud.
Oh yeah,
they
want an NFL team.
Yeah, well,
they do.
NFL has its own international part of their company now, and they go try and find places to play. They're talking about going back to Canada, which they've been out of for 2 years now or something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they've talked about games in London, like trying to get a franchise over there. It would make more sense to have a franchise in Canada or Mexico than London.
Here's the thing: London
travel's not bad.
It's like it's for East Coast teams, anyways.
Yeah,
travel's not going to be bad. It's just like going to California. Really, it's actually closer, I think. It's less of a flight to England than it is to California for the Patriots, for the Dolphins. Well, maybe not the Dolphins. They're kind of south.
I'd like to see a team in Southeast Canada, like
Montreal.
Nice. Yeah, some nice shitty weather. Yeah. I'd like to see that.
Nice little 8-hour drive to get there. We can go watch it.
I want to go to Canada. Let's go. But
So I think that's pretty much it for football. Yeah. Moving on to baseball, we actually
a little bit, not too much.
A little bit of baseball. We got the hot stove heating up.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Some free agency starting to get going.
Yeah.
The Red Sox signed Mexican infielder Esteban
Quiroz.
He's an infielder with PD possibly out. They're probably gonna lose.
Hopefully out.
Yeah,
I might get shot for that.
But this kid
gone.
showed up in the Mexican League, and he's 25 years old. He's young.
Yeah.
Signed a minor league contract. I wouldn't be shocked if he's with the big league.
Yeah,
team.
it's going to depend on Pedroia, definitely,
Yeah,
and how he is at the beginning of the year.
We've talked about it before. Pedroia.
Yeah,
no bueno.
He needs to go. He needs to just give it up.
But I have basically the top free agents coming up for the MLB. JD Martinez, first baseman.
Big power hitter. I hope nobody gives him too big of a contract.
He's a little older.
He's getting old, and I think he wants 8 at 25 a year.
Oh boy,
he can't get that. He's way
crazy.
too old for 8 at 25 a year.
You got Yu Darvish, pitcher.
Yeah,
coming off not the best couple of years.
He's a roller coaster. You know, he's up, he's down. When he's on, he's one of the best in the game.
Mm-hmm.
When he's off, watch out.
You got Eric Hosmer, first baseman.
That's who I want the Red Sox to get. I want them to get Eric Hosmer. They need a first baseman. I mean, they got the minor league kid there. I can't remember his name right now.
A young Travis
Shaw.
Sam Travis.
Sam Travis.
Yeah. They want to give him.
He's really good.
They want to give him a shot.
But if you can get Eric Hosmer on the team, and now you have a World Series champion, someone who can hit the ball, someone who plays really good defense, veteran leadership. He's what they need in that locker room.
This one I was a little shocked by. Jake Arrieta is a
he's not going to go anywhere. No. Chicago's going to sign him back.
Lorenzo Cain, center fielder.
I think that's going to depend what the Royals want to do with him. I think that's where he's still on the Royals, right?
I think he was on the Reds.
Oh, did he move to the Reds? I feel like a dummy.
That happens,
Lorenzo.
Okay, we're doing this off the top,
Lorenzo Cain. No, Kansas City Royals.
Yeah,
that's right.
Royals. So they got two big free agents.
Yeah. So
and they're not a big market team.
He's 31, so he's over that 30-year-old hill that is old age in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Baseball players play till 40ish.
They can, but they gotta be.
Remember, they come in. Most of them come in the league at 24, 25, 26 years old, 27.
But the really, really good ones come in at 18, 19, and they're the ones that play for 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
But the older players are usually corner infielders or corner outfielders or a catcher. Center fielder, you don't see a lot of old guys playing center field unless you're Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, he could move to a corner.
We'll see.
Continue for a while.
We'll see.
But...
You got Alex Cobb, pitcher from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
12-10 last year. He could be a fifth starter somewhere.
Yeah.
Fourth starter.
Fourth, fifth starter somewhere. Yeah.
Lance Lynn from St. Louis.
I like him. I've always liked Lance Lynn.
Another guy,
he was really good.
Older, 30 years old.
Yeah.
Could be a fourth, fifth starter somewhere.
He's 30 years old.
Jay Bruce from the Cleveland Indians.
He's got to hang him up.
30, he's only 30.
Only 30, but
he's only 30.
Although I guess last year
hit 36 home runs last year.
I didn't realize he had that many home runs.
Have a good year. You make a big paycheck.
Yeah, but he can't get more than a 3-year contract. He's so up and down.
Wade Davis, and
that's another position that they can go older.
Fits
closing pitchers.
Yeah, 32 saves last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any team that needs a closer.
Now, here's the big one. This is Shohei Ohtani from Japanese. He was Shohei, whatever.
Shohei Ohtani.
He was, I believe he was like one of the MVPs in the Japanese league.
Well, he's apparently just as good of a hitter as he is a pitcher.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a National League team would be the best.
That's crazy, hitting and pitching.
I mean, they're actually talking. I've heard talk on the radio about him going to an American League team and having them designate hit for somebody else.
That's awesome. I want to see that.
That would be cool.
23 years old,
catcher who can't hit, but he's a great defensive catcher.
I mean, if he can hit, give you anything at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah.
And he can pitch.
Yeah.
Supposedly the Red Sox are in on him. Mariners really want him. So who knows? But it's kind of, and then you got Todd Frazier for the Yankees. He's a little bit older.
Well, I'll tell you what though, he was a catalyst for the Yankees last year. He's another one that's a clubhouse guy more than his on the field stuff. I wouldn't mind him on the Red Sox. They need a third baseman, but I don't think he's worth what he's going to command for money.
Mm-hmm.
That's that one right there, Eduardo Nunez.
That's the thing.
I want to see the Red Sox keep him.
I thought he would you know, if he didn't get hurt at the end of the season, the way he tore it up when he first got there, he was looking at a contract.
Yeah.
You know, a decent contract. But he's 30 years old. He's coming off a knee injury.
Yep.
May not get him the most. Maybe a team like the Royals.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's going to depend on his health.
Because they're going to need...
Because he got carried off the field in the playoffs.
Oh, God. That's one of the biggest reasons why freaking Farrell probably got fired right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you know,
so
that's my baseball.
Yeah, that's
don't really have any
those
hockey.
Are pretty much the top, the top free agents this year. You know, there's a couple I wouldn't mind seeing the Sox go get, but the big one for me is Eric Hosmer. The rest of them.
There's a rumor that they should go after Abreu.
Jose Abreu.
Yeah, for hitting.
I still think they need to get Giancarlo Stanton. The deal is there. You can make the deal. You know, they just have to come to terms.
If they take more of the money, then they can get him.
Yeah.
Without trading a lot of big pieces.
I would still give up Xander and Eddie Rodriguez.
The new Marlins owner is already talking about trying to get cash back.
Well, the new Marlins owner is Derek Jeter.
Well, yeah, he's part
of the group.
The main owner is still talking about cash buyouts and stuff.
Right.
Because he just put this bid in, and now it's like, oh, crap.
So I think if they give up Xander and if they give up Eddie Rodriguez and take the full contract. Don't make them take the full contract.
Bradley,
both those guys. And you can even put Bradley in the deal because you won't need him at that point. Because Stanton goes in a left.
So if you get Stanton, Bradley's probably gone anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so take Bradley.
Although Bradley's rumored to be going to San Francisco. I'm not sure for who yet. But
they're interested in him, but they'd have to trade him. So we'll see.
I don't know if they have anything.
We'll see, but that's my baseball. That's the sports of the week.
Sports of the week. Yeah. All right, so on to the comic TV movie news. So I guess we should start out with our review of Justice League.
Oh yeah.
You know, I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good. A couple things I didn't like. I didn't like the Flash's suit. I didn't like his running.
Didn't like his running.
And I didn't like Superman's upper lip.
No, they definitely
the
CGI was terrible.
Awful. Worst thing I've seen.
You know, I talked about the Justice League for about an hour last night with my friend Jay.
Yep.
And you know, I talked about things I didn't like. I didn't like his running. Oh my God, his blocky.
Yep.
Just arms out like this. Just, I don't know. I feel like he was underdeveloped. I feel like they rushed him.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking and they didn't have any build up with him. They should have at least showed him like kind of stop a couple crimes.
Right.
Do something like small.
Yep.
Instead of word of mouth with him.
Right.
I felt like the movie was rushed. It was only under 2 hours.
It was under 2 hours, which is very short
Warner
for
Brothers,
that type of movie.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, especially with like you could do that with a single movie.
Yeah.
You know, Wonder Woman or a Batman.
Yep.
But when you have 6 characters coming together,
yeah,
you need to kind of, you got to understand it's got to be longer.
Yeah, you got to give time for
character development.
Right?
I feel like they cut scenes out. Like, you know, I think they rushed Justice League. DC did because they got worried about, you know, all Marvel's projects. Yeah. So, you know, they were like, oh, I got to get Wonder Woman out before Captain Marvel after Marvel, you know, announced Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Which Wonder Woman came out good, but they did the same thing with Justice League. I would have waited for Justice League.
Yeah, you know, give them all a little bit more screen time.
What they really should have done is develop Justice League for another year and had Justice League and Avengers Infinity War come up the same year.
Yeah, the only bad thing about that is with the way that the DC movies have been, you know, producing in the theaters. I mean, Wonder Woman did good, but other than that, you know, Batman versus Superman was down.
Yeah.
Man of Steel was down. If they go up directly against the Avengers,
I mean,
they got no chance.
What they really should have done is when Zack Snyder had the tragedy with his daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe they should delay it for a while and not worried about that, you know, that big release date.
Yeah.
And
well, I think
I'm surprised it was a November movie and not a summer movie.
Summer movie, yeah.
No.
I mean, it's sad. Zack Snyder's daughter is extremely sad.
Oh yeah, very sad.
But I think that was actually, if they would have let Joss Whedon have a little bit more run of the place. Now they're blaming Joss Whedon because it wasn't very good.
Joss Whedon.
They up until the movie release, they kept saying this is still a Zack Snyder movie. It's still a Zack Snyder movie. Now it's released and it does poorly. We say poorly. It still made almost $100 million, which isn't poorly, but for the type of movie. it does poorly, and they blame Joss
I
Whedon.
mean, Thor's still doing good in theaters too,
It is.
and Thor's kind of taking away some of Justice League's sales.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but I mean that's the negative. On the positive side, I thought I loved that they showed a Green Lantern early in the movie.
that was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Gives you hope.
Yeah, well, he's gonna show up. They got a Green Lantern Corps movie coming out in 2022, I think.
Oh my god. Way too far away.
Yeah. So I mean, I like that. I thought a lot of the fight scenes were very well done, very well choreographed.
They showed Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus, which actually is kind of a screw up on their part with their timeline.
Yeah, probably.
Because in Wonder Woman, he should have been dead at that point.
Well, he's a god.
Right, but Ares killed him in the Wonder Woman story. In the story that they were telling in Wonder Woman, Ares had him killed. Now he's appearing here after the Amazonians are all already have their army and everything, which by then he should have been dead. But anyways, that's really not that big a deal to me, but it is something that you notice.
I will say I love the Amazonian fight scene with Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And I felt like they should have done more scenes like that throughout the movie against the Justice League.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like the Justice League fights with Steppenwolf were short.
I'm trying to remember. It was only really one and a half.
Yeah, and then
because that one in the sewers or whatever.
But the really Amazon fight with Steppenwolf was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
You know, that felt like a very big Zack Snyder scene right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then there was just a couple times I'm just like, wow, they really rushed to get Superman back in the movie too.
They did. But they did that because they only had 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, if you had 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours, you give an hour and a half to the build up of him coming back, and then he's back for the last half of the movie.
It's going to be interesting. I bet you there's going to be like one of those same thing with Batman vs Superman. It's going to be like a 2.5, 3 hour cut.
Oh yeah, they've already said that there was a lot of stuff cut out of that movie.
Yeah, like I think it was almost an hour, right?
I didn't see the runtime of what was cut out, but I know that they said it was a lot.
You know, WB wanted to get it so they can make more showings.
Yeah, so they can try and get more money. But yeah, as you see, making it shorter and making it not as good, just to get more showings, didn't help their income on it. I was just baffled that it made under $100 million.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't make sense. So that's Justice League. On to the TV comic book shows. I started watching Punisher. I got 3 episodes in. I like it so far.
I'm up to pretty good. Episode 9, I think.
Yeah.
So I still gotta finish it. I really like it. The tone's great.
Yeah, I like it so far.
He's the Punisher.
Yeah.
Like, best take on Punisher. I couldn't have hired a better person to play the Punisher.
Yeah, he does a good
job.
job.
A few times.
He's done a good job so far. There's that. There's
He was great as Shane in The Walking Dead, so I knew.
Not a big Walking Dead guy, so
no,
I mean I've seen the first season though, so I know Shane, and he was pretty good in that.
Yeah, Shane's just ruthless. So it's like Punisher is great. There's some story to it. Like, we won't say much, you know.
Yeah.
But you'll see.
The one thing that I'm not a fan of, at least it hasn't happened yet. Don't tell me if it has or not. But there really isn't a known villain in it. You know, I mean, I don't know if later, you know, because there's no Jigsaw, there's no Kingpin yet. Again, they may show up later. I don't know. I'm only on the 3rd episode, but we'll see how that goes. So that's that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
The CW shows, all the DC shows.
Yeah.
I haven't watched this week. I finally caught up with last week on Friday, or yesterday when I was off. And I mean,
the only one I didn't catch up to this week was Arrow. Yeah. I'm behind on Arrow.
They're going good. I still don't like Diggle as Arrow.
No.
I mean, I don't know if that'll ever change.
I think something's gonna happen this week though, because in the previews of Crisis on Earth X.
Right.
No Diggle.
Right.
I didn't see him at all.
Right, and Oliver.
So I don't know. I didn't watch it this week.
If that drug storyline is gonna do something and make him take a leave of absence or what. But that's the other thing I want to talk about is Crisis on Earth X. That starts Monday.
Awesome.
It looks really good.
But so the first time the last year's crossover.
Yeah, the one
with
the aliens.
Yeah, they did it kind of like arcs. Every show had their own arc.
Right.
This one they're doing as a movie.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Basically like a movie.
So
you're watching a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, that's why they moved Arrow to Tuesday night for it. So it
they moved Monday.
It's Monday. Oh right, yeah.
Supergirl, Arrow.
Yeah.
Flash, Legends.
So I mean, they're introducing the Ray in it.
Yeah.
Which is going to be good. I'm curious as to how they're going to do his powers.
And Citizen's Cold is coming back.
Yep. He's coming back. I think this is his last
Yeah.
his last thing with
A little
the
weird,
CW
but
shows.
whatever.
But I'm interested to see how they do the Ray's powers, because in the comic books, he's basically jet black, like with some gold highlights when he's using his powers, and when he's not, he's wearing a black jacket with some gold like lines on a gold helmet, whatever. But once his powers go into effect, he's like jet black with just, you can see his eyes and you see the gold, and that's about it. So I'm interested to see if they're gonna make that, because I don't know how that's gonna look on TV. So they may do it differently.
Yeah.
Because that could look weird.
I'm excited for it though.
Oh yeah, me too.
You know, it's
I'm
this
very
week,
much
and,
excited
and not too long after that, it's gonna be their break, their winter break.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But
you
also
have a couple episodes left to, get their mojo going.
Yep.
And then Supergirl started. I don't know if you watched Supergirl.
No, I know Rain.
Yeah,
Rain showed
Rain.
up. I can't wait to see
She was
that.
pretty cool.
Because she's a world killer in the comics. She's one of the
Yeah.
world killers. I'm sure they talk about that in this too.
They do.
But I think it's in the New 52, or maybe it was in the Flashpoint reality. I'm not sure. But that's what Doomsday is a world killer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's if they bring her in, that's gonna be a big thing for Supergirl, because she's really powerful.
Oh yeah, so there's gonna be good, like, couple good things coming out.
Yeah, well,
Crisis on the Earth
Friday.
looks great.
Friday, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back.
I'm
No,
looking
not
forward
this
to
Friday.
that. Yeah, December
Is it?
1st.
Really?
Yeah.
This week's December 1st already?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Today's the 25th.
Oh boy.
Yeah, December
So
1st.
yeah, next week. That's great.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
my favorite show on
The
TV.
preview looks
So,
funny.
yeah. It's my favorite show on TV.
Yeah. Although I really like Gifted right now.
I like
looks
it.
Really good.
I like it. It's pretty good. It's a little slow. That's my only gripe with the Gifted. It's a little slow. I did like the last episode though, where they made reference to Andrea and Andreas von Strucker, the Fenris twins, who are Baron von Strucker's kids, who was in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
It's a little weird. I'm not sure how they're gonna address that, or even if they will.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was pretty cool. But no, that shows. I like the show. I like how the usage of the powers in the show.
Oh yeah. I think they do great
like
with
the
the powers.
story.
It's not like in Humans where you barely see powers.
Right.
You know, they're showing powers like.
Yeah, the story's good. I don't like the guy, the head Sentinel Services guy.
No.
It's not that I don't like him as a character. I don't like him. Like there's
No.
something about him that just.
You want to see him get killed.
Yeah, I kind of do. But
but you got to feel for him too about his daughter.
Yeah, and then having to go through it again.
Mm-hmm.
Because Beautiful Dreamer making him forget it.
But
yeah, so that's pretty much it for the TV stuff, right? We got anything else? Lucifer. I don't know if you watched Lucifer. I really like Lucifer. It was a good episode this week.
Yeah.
But that guy's funny.
There's too many, comic book shows right now. And
Yeah.
Runaways just came out.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes.
Really?
You watch it? Yeah, you don't have Hulu.
I don't have Hulu. So
It's actually really good. I like
let me borrow the Hulu.
I was worried about it, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard good reviews about it. I think I can get Hulu for free for like the first 4 episodes.
The first 3 episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they have a 30-day free trial for Hulu.
Yeah, so I might have to
never
do that.
signed up
And
before,
really
you can
been
do
nope,
that.
never done.
Yeah, it's only 3 episodes, so it's not like you have to do much.
I thought it was more.
It's going to be, but right now it's only 3 episodes, and they're going to release more on Tuesdays. I don't know if it's going to be 3 every week. or if it was
so
3
they're
to
making
start.
you pay for it. They're
Right.
not making you binge watch.
Right.
You bastards.
So that's it for the TV stuff.
Mhm.
On to the new releases this week. So the first one is Coco.
Another one that's gonna hurt Justice League.
Yeah, this is gonna kill it. I mean, it's Disney. I mean, Disney movies always do good this time of year. They always like to release them around Thanksgiving.
And
Family
time.
And then you get they last till Christmas. People haven't seen it. Go Christmas Eve or Christmas night. Some of the theaters open Christmas night.
Yeah.
Go see this. And I mean, it's about a young musician who I guess he ends up in the land of the dead. I mean, I don't know the whole synopsis of it, but he ends up in the land of the dead. And he's got to find out a mystery about his family's ban on music and see why. So it sounds cool. He's got his little dog with him. So they got the cute animal, and then you got all the skeletons running around. So I think it'll be a fun movie. I probably won't see it in theaters, but it looks like a fun movie. I'll watch it later on.
I mean, they always, like you said, they always do good with these movies in this time of year because it's all about family, going and seeing with the kids.
Yep.
Like I said, it's hurting Justice League too.
Yep, it
as
will.
well.
It will, and I mean that's the same people own Marvel, so so
No,
they'll be happy about that.
They're not dumb.
Nope. And then the next one is Darkest Hour. It's about World War II. Gary Oldman plays Winston Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
He's just elected to be prime minister, and it's when France is about to fall. Britain's facing threat of invasion. And then it just shows what he does and how he handles everything. You know, it's kind of the same time frame as that Dunkirk movie. So, I mean, I'm not a big war movie guy, but this one doesn't look like it's a war movie.
Like he put on some weight for this role.
It really does. This is, yes, it's a war movie, but it's more about Winston Churchill, so it kind of interests me a little bit. So, but again, I won't go see this one in the theater.
No.
I mean, I'll wait for cable on that one. And then the last one coming out is The Man Who Invented Christmas. I gotta tell you, I haven't researched that movie much, but I'll look it up right now. It sounds like a kid's movie, really. Let's see, The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Just doesn't seem like a movie I'm gonna see.
So yeah, I mean it's.
Who's it made by?
Oh, it's about the Ebenezer Scrooge and Tiny Tim bringing them to life again. Okay, so it's another Christmas Carol movie.
Yay!
Yeah, we don't have enough of those, and none of them are going to live up to Scrooged anyways. That's my favorite Christmas Carol movie based off of a Christmas Carol.
I hate that Christmas is already like here.
Yeah, it's here.
Everyone's putting up music before November.
So yeah, those are our 3 movies coming out. I won't see any of them in theaters. You know. 2 of them I will see later. 1 of them I probably won't even bother unless I'm flipping through channels and it's there. And I'm like, let's see what it's about.
Yeah, an hour or 2 to spare.
Yeah. So that's it for that. And now we're gonna go on to the top 10 this week. Fits right in here. It's gonna be top 10 movies released Thanksgiving weekend.
You got a friend in me.
This isn't movies about Thanksgiving. This is movies that were released on Thanksgiving weekend. I gotta tell you, there was a lot of them. I was amazed
a little
to
shocked
see
when
how
you sent
many
me
there
the
were.
list.
But I was looking through it, and you know, these are the movies that I like. Now, this is personal top 10. This isn't what everybody else is gonna think, because there's gonna be some movies on here that people are gonna be like, really? But I don't care. I like them. So the first movie is Just Friends. Funny movie.
Love Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds was great in this. He when he was a kid, he was a heavy dude. He fell in love with his childhood neighbor, I think she was. But they went to school together, and he fell in love with her. She didn't like him, you know, and he assumed it was because of being heavy and whatever. So he moves away. He goes and he becomes this huge agent, right? Movie agent or music agent, something like that. But and he loses all the weight, and then he looks like Ryan Reynolds. So you know, he comes back for Christmas, and he's still in love with her,
having girls left and right too.
And he's got Anna Faris with him. She's one of his clients, and he realizes that he's still in love with this one, and you know, he tries to win her over, and just everything from start to finish in this movie is really, really funny. So that's number 10. Number 9, first time using this, so I'm practicing with it. Number 9 is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You don't really need to say much about this movie. It's John Candy and Steve Martin together. That's really all you need to know. You know, John Candy's a salesman, and you know, he needs to get from one place to another, and Steve Martin helps him. That's a way high level of it. But they're just together. They're a riot. I mean, my favorite scene is when they're in the car and the fingerprints and the impression on the dashboard after they almost get into an accident. It was just super funny. You have no idea about this movie, do you? It's a great movie. I suggest watching it. If you like to laugh, you'll love this movie. After that,
I like this one.
Number 8, Toy Story 2. Well, if you like it so much, why don't you talk about it? I mean,
it's been a while.
Yeah, but it's. I mean,
I've always thought that the Toy Story movies are great.
I mean, I get them confused which one's which, to be honest.
Kids movies, you know, it's still funny. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the perfect time for these movies. You know, again, we were talking Disney loves this time for their
family.
movies.
It's family time.
You know, it's family time. You get a lot of butts in the seat, and when you put out a quality story like Toy Story 2, you know, it's gonna do well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Next one, again, Disney, Frozen. People can laugh at me if you want. I don't care. I like this movie. I thought Josh Gad was amazing in this movie. And you know, just the story's good. It's typical Disney.
Family.
And obviously it's one of the top movies of all time.
Oh, the songs.
Yeah, the songs were good the first time you heard them. And then they just kind of grate on
you
you
work
now.
at a school.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of it.
All right, so that's number 7. Number 6, Rocky 4. I mean,
there's not much.
Dolph
you have to say.
Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren was so like stoic in this movie, but it wasn't purposely. I just think he wasn't a good actor at the time.
Yeah.
But this movie was great. I mean, Apollo Creed dies, you know, and
They're doing
eventually leads to Creed. You know, the Creed movie later. You know why he wants to do what he does, but no, this movie was great. I mean, all the scenes out in Russia where he's doing all the working out, running up the mountains and stuff, and you know, in that little hut, or not hut, but like shack, whatever you want to call that thing that he was staying in. You know, it was just great. And then, you know, obviously the U.S. over Russia theme at the time was huge, and I mean, it was a great movie. Number 5, Mrs. Doubtfire. Robin Williams at one of his best performances.
Oh, yeah. That was such a great movie.
I liked Harvey Fierstein in this movie too. His brother in the movie, he was great. You know, there's a lot of good lines in it too. You know, the run by fruiting. You know, it was a great line.
It's definitely worth another watch during.
Anytime it's good to watch. But I mean, I had no idea that this came out at Thanksgiving time. When I saw it on the list, I'm like, no way. Next one, we were just talking about The Man Who Invented Christmas. This is the real movie on A Christmas Carol. Scrooged. Bill Murray playing a version of Ebenezer Scrooge. That's not his name in it, obviously, but they're filming a live Christmas Carol show in the movie.
Oh, really?
So, you know, he winds up seeing the 3 ghosts and all that, and then he comes back here. You got Mary Lou Retton plays Tiny Tim. There's just a lot of funny things in it. And I mean, this is one of Bill Murray's best movies. He's quality throughout. Next one is the original Toy Story.
Oh yeah, all 3 of them were released.
I think the third one was too. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the third one myself. But Toy Story again. I mean, don't really need to say much about this one.
No, it's classic.
Yeah, it's classic. It's great. Number 2, Unbreakable. I loved this movie. You know, Samuel L. Jackson plays Mr. Glass. Bruce Willis plays, I don't remember his name in the movie, but the main character. You've seen Unbreakable, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Now Unbreakable is in the same reality as the movie Split.
And they're making another one.
And they're going to make a crossover between the two, which was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But this movie was great. I mean, Mr. Glass making all these disasters happen. Nobody knows it, that he's the one behind it. And eventually Bruce Willis figures it out. But his powers are the exact opposite of Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis can't be hurt. He's super strong, whatever. He's fragile as anything. You know, he breaks a leg just by tapping into a wall. And just the hero-villain dichotomy in this movie was amazing. And number 1 is, again, a Disney movie, Aladdin. Talk about Robin Williams at his best. This is my favorite Robin Williams performance ever.
I loved Aladdin.
I mean, it's animated.
It might be my favorite Disney movie.
It's my
between
second.
that and Lion King.
That's my first.
You know.
This is my second favorite Disney movie ever. You know, and Robin Williams makes this movie. I mean, he really does. He's great. You know, Jafar's a good villain.
It's been so long since I've watched it.
You know, and Iago with what's his name as the voice of Iago. He's always funny in everything he does.
But the squeaky bird.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just a really good family movie, and I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen Aladdin.
Oh yeah, Aladdin was awesome.
You know, it's one of the best movies of all time. I mean, when it cocomes right down to it. So that's the top 10 this week.
Good top 10.
Yeah.
Good family weekend top 10.
Yeah, I thought it was a good theme for it. Since you know it is Thanksgiving weekend. All right,
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're a little late, but still, same sentiment. So from there, we're going to move right on into our gaming spotlight. All right, so the gaming spotlight this week is Betrayal at House on the Hill. Now,
I've heard about this game.
My box for the original game got destroyed, so I moved it all into the Widow's Walk expansion box, which I bought basically just so I could have the box, although having the other stuff is good too. But what it is, you're adventurers, however many people are in your group, you're all adventurers, or I guess you can consider yourself adventurers, and you go to this house that is haunted or whatever, has things going on in it. So you pick your character. These are the characters here. These are just two of them. This is my favorite one. He's on the floor now. But that's actually, I lost one of the characters or it broke or something, so they made these pieces for Hunger Games, and that looked a lot like the other character, so I just wound up using it. But
Nice.
we got the old man, you got the lady in blue, the lady in purple, the guy in red, whose name, ironically, is Flash, or Oxbellows is his other side. But all these characters have two different versions. The character cards are buried in here. I'm trying to get to them. Holy crap. So these are, I'll get the character cards in a minute. So what it is you go into the entrance of this house, and this house is not made yet. All you have to start is one little walkway. It's the foyer to the house and everything. And geez, there's a lot of pieces here. Here it is. Here's the entrance hall. So this is where you start. This is the whole game board when you start the game. Now it has doors on all four of these and one here. Now you'll notice each one is like a square with a black line between it. Those are your spaces. They make it that big because multiple things can be in the room at the same time. So you move however many your speed is, which I'm still trying to get to those character things. It must be underneath everything. There's one. So here's our character cards, basically. Like if you ever play D&D or anything, you know how you have a character sheet. This is kind of the same thing. So you get two sides. This is Father Reinhardt. He's obviously a priest. And then Professor Longfellow is the other side. You get to pick which one you want to play to start the game. And you have these stats are all along the sides here. Now you've got speed, might, sanity, and knowledge. 2 mental, 2 physical traits. And that becomes important throughout the game because you take physical damage or mental damage, or you deal physical damage or you deal mental damage. And it goes off of those stats. So you pick a character, you pick your side, you figure out who goes first, and you go into the house. So you start here, and you go into one of these rooms, and then you open up a new room. So let's say this is our pile of cards here, and on each of the cards on the back, there's 3 different levels. Now you have your upper, your ground, and your basement. So depending on what floor of the house you're in, depends on which tile you pick. Now they stay in a pile. If it's not what you need, you move it to the side and you just go to the next one. You don't go into those ones that you move to the side until you run out of tiles. So you go in, and then this one, like if this was on the table, it's tough to show this way, but you would just go right here and you'd lay it next to it on the table, and you'd go into that room. Now, when you go into these rooms, the doors need to line up. So you got to look at the door here, look at the door here, and line them up together so they're going the right way. A lot of them have 2 doors, so you're okay, or 3 or 4. So you can put it anyway on the 4 ones, obviously. And then they all have things that happen. Not all of them. Most of them have things that happen when you go into them. Like this one has a little ox head. That means you get an item card, which are in here somewhere. So you would draw an item card. You look at the item card. This is a locket. You read it, and it tells you what to do with it. Some of them you keep. Some of them you don't. So that's how that works with those. This one also has this little dumbwaiter thing, which allows you to move from this room to another room with a dumbwaiter on a turn, instead of having to walk through the whole house. You can kind of jump. That's from Widow's Walk. That's not in the base game. So if you only have the base game, or you only go and buy the base game, you won't see the dumbwaiters. But as you go along, so the goal is to go through the house. You open up all the rooms, as many rooms as you can, and when they have an omen symbol, which is a little raven, I'll show you what that looks like. It looks like that. So this is the symbol that'll be on the card, like the ox head was. When you do that, you then roll all the dice. You see those? So you got 8 dice here, sorry. And then you roll them all. You need to roll more than the amount of omens that are in the game. So if you've opened up 7 rooms and there's 7 omens, you need to roll 8 or higher. If you don't, that's when the real fun starts in the game. Because now all you're doing right now is just exploring. You're getting items. Things are happening too, because there are events that happen before the hunt starts. Once you roll less on these dice than omen cards out there, the hunt begins. Now what happens there is typically somebody in the group one person becomes the bad guy. Now you don't know who that is yet until you reveal the haunt. So while you're going through the house and you're collecting all these things, all these pieces and these weapons and these items and you're getting all these stat boosts and stuff, you got to be weary about like giving someone something that you have, even if it benefits them, because they could become the haunt, and now you got to go up against them, and they're gonna have all this good stuff. So the haunt could be a lot of different things. Like, let's see. Here's the original Traders. Nope, that's the Widow's Walk one. Oh, it's right in front of me. So the Trader's Tome. So there's a book for the trader and a book for the non-traders. What happens when the haunt's revealed? The trader takes this book, goes in another room where they can't hear you, hear the rest of the group, and they can't hear the trader. Not that the trader's going to talk to themselves, that would be a little weird. But you read, you go to the chapter that is your haunt, like this one. Like there's a chart in it too, so it tells you.
It's a very complex game, huh?
It is. It tells you the room that the haunt is and what the omen was, and then you just find your number. So let's see. There's I want to try and find one that's kind of cool. Like, I was a teenage lycanthrope, so basically you become a werewolf. And so someone becomes a werewolf on that one. It's haunt number 5. Haunt number 5, the person who reveals the haunt, so the one who rolls the dice and doesn't make the haunt roll successful, is the trader. So whatever they have is all their items and stuff. Now, some of the haunts, or most of the haunts, they do lose those items, but some of them they don't. So when they lose them, they're out of the game. 1 or 2, I think, say they drop the items because they become a ghost. So the items will just drop to the floor. But when they don't become a ghost, they don't do that. So the survivors read their book, the haunt revealer or the haunt themselves read their book, and then now you have a new goal to the game each. The survivors is to either escape the house or to defeat the haunt, or there's other possibilities too, like just last a certain amount of days and then the haunt goes away. You know, there's all different things, and the game, obviously it can be the same game twice. There's only 100 different haunts. You could end up with the same omen and same.
Very unlikely though.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that'll happen. I mean, we've had it happen a couple times, but we've played this game a lot.
So how many people need to play this game?
You should have at least, my opinion, 3.
Yeah.
I think they say 2. I don't know if it actually says on my board. Nah, it doesn't really say on here. I believe you can play with as little as 2, but I think 3 is the best.
3.
And you can get up to 6. And I feel the more people, the better with this.
Yeah, this seems like a game that you need a good number of people.
Yeah. I mean, I would say at least 3, because we've done it with 3. The problem is you're losing one of those people to the haunt.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't, because there are some haunts that happen themselves and nobody actually does anything.
They did this at the lounge. They were playing this game.
Yeah, but I mean the game is super fun. I mean it gets, again, when you've played it so much, it gets a little boring until the haunt starts after you've played it a bunch, because you're like, all right, let's just get to the haunt. But with this Widow's Walk expansion, it's gotten more fun again, because now there's other things that can happen.
New things that you haven't done yet.
That's why they put expansions out for games.
Yeah,
to reinvigorate it. But yeah, so you know, when you're done, when you defeat the haunt, or you could lose to the haunt, you know, you start a new game if you want, if you have time.
That's cool.
You know, because it's going to be a different play. You can change your character, flip the other side of the card. I like Flash because he's the fastest in the game. Go figure. And I like being able to move that many spaces when I need to. He has where he has the high speed. There's a weapon in here. It's the gun. I think it's the revolver, which goes off of your speed. So I always try and get the gun because I can always do more damage with that when I'm fighting something. Now that stuff doesn't matter if you're fighting a ghost, but when you're not, it's helpful. So that's Betrayal at House on the Hill. I highly suggest trying it out. There's a lot of gaming stores that have this open for people to just play. It might cost you a couple bucks to hang out and play.
They sell it at Walmart too. I saw it yesterday.
Yep, they have it at Walmart. It's another pricey game like Legendary. I think it's $40 or $50 to buy the base game. This is $20 for Widow's Walk. This is what Widow's Walk looks like. It's made by Avalon Hill. I was fortunate enough to get my first one for free. because I was at Gen Con out in California. This was when it first came out, like 12 years ago.
Really?
I have the original version. The one I have pictured here is the new box. That's what people are going to see. The one I had was a brown box, and
it says 3 to 6 players.
Yeah. Okay, so you
play 3 in 1 hour.
So I was fortunate enough to get it for free, so I was able to try it and put my advice out to all of you. So I definitely think you should try it out again, even if you just go to a store to play it there first, see if you like it. If you do, go get it and play it, and it's a lot of fun.
All right.
So after that, we're going to go to our classic comic storyline. All right, so this week's classic comic storyline is a story called Sacrifice. It's a Superman story, but it's also got Batman and Wonder Woman, well, if you want to call it having Batman in it. But it's got Wonder Woman in it. Maxwell Lord, he's a big villain in DC. He apparently gained some powers that I didn't realize he did, where he can influence people. Like, he's almost like a telepath. I guess it would be considered a telepath. Mm-hmm. But what happens is he gets into Superman's mind, and he starts making him do things that he wouldn't normally do. But not just the easy way of just controlling his mind. He makes him see people as other things. So he sees Batman. I believe he saw Batman as Brainiac.
Oh, boy.
So he goes to fight Brainiac, he's thinking. And he pummels the ever-loving crap out of Batman. Now, this is a story I use for people that say Batman can beat Superman. Read this book. You'll see how it really is. I mean, they don't really show the fight in the first issue. I don't think they show the fight until the second issue. But in the first issue, Batman's already in the hospital bed, and he's got indentions in his body from Superman's fists.
It's not the first time that they've kind of used this. I don't know if they used the exact story, but they used kind of him seeing Bruce as someone else before in TV shows too.
Yeah, no, I think this came out after that, because this is relatively new. I mean, it's not as classic as like Maximum Carnage was, but I mean, it was before the New 52 though, so it was right before
Infinite Crisis.
So I mean, it's probably after some of the other stuff that you've seen, but no. So what happens is, Wonder Woman realizes that Superman is doing these things, so she's got to figure out why, and then it comes out that Maxwell Lord is controlling his mind. So now this story was a big turning point for Wonder Woman, because to save Superman and the world, she goes and confronts Maxwell Lord. Well, Maxwell Lord has Superman there helping him, and they start fighting. So at one point, Wonder Woman takes her tiara off and throws it at Superman and slices his throat. Now, it's magic, so that's how that can happen. Superman's very vulnerable to magic, almost as much as kryptonite. Mm-hmm. So she slices his throat. Now he's sitting there holding his throat, so she goes after Maxwell Lord, and she keeps telling him to stop, to let him go, stop doing what he's doing. He's like, I'm never going to stop. And he's like, there's only one way to stop me. And she's like, how's that? And he says, kill me. So what'd she do? She spins his head around and snaps his neck and kills Maxwell Lord. Superman sees that, and he's kind of appalled that she would kill somebody just that easily.
She's not against it,
right?
Though.
She's not like him. She's an Amazonian warrior. They kill people. It's not to kill people. They kill people to save others. So it really did nothing for her to kill Maxwell Lord. But in the comic books and in the comic book community, it made a lot of people look at Wonder Woman differently, because she's never done anything like that actually on panel,
or at least in such public view.
Right. And it's never never been done by a major hero that's like a light hero. You got the Punisher and Venom. They kill people.
Yeah.
Deathstroke's been back and forth between hero and villain. When he was a hero, he killed people. It's very different for Wonder Woman, who's like a beacon of heroism,
and not during a time of war.
Right. So the story's a great story, though, great read. I love it because it shows that Superman can literally kill Batman if he wants to. And I don't like the Bat fans who always try and say that Batman can beat Superman, because it'll never happen. Never really happen.
It's only 5 issues?
4 issues. It's 4 issues. There's 2 issues after it for like Aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a 4-issue series with a couple that you have to read after. You don't have to. I mean, you really don't. It's not
Did it start Infinite Crisis?
No. Infinite Crisis came later. It was in the build up to Infinite Crisis. It was part of it. As you can see on the top of none of those ones say it. That's weird because the one that you were looking at does. I think that's an alternate cover. That's why. But yeah. So great storyline. If you like the DC's Trinity, it's got all of them in it. It's definitely worth the read. They're a little more than $1.99 each. You got to spend probably $5 a piece, or get the trade paperback.
Or get them online.
I'm sure you can find them online somewhere. But yeah, so that's Sacrifice. I definitely suggest picking it up. From there, we're going to go on to our wrestling recaps this week. All right, so this was a big week in wrestling. Starting with Survivor Series at the beginning of, the end of last week, technically.
Sunday.
Beginning of this week. I loved it. I thought it was the best wrestling event I've seen in a long, long time. I mean, there were 7 matches, which isn't a whole bunch for an event. But when you got the 2 5-on-5 matches that are elimination instead of just, someone gets pinned, that team loses. And then New Day versus the Shield took forever, but it was definitely worth watching the whole fight. The Shield pretty handily beat them. I was surprised by that. I mean, the New Day had some offense for a little while in the middle of the match.
I only got to see the 2 matches at the end.
Oh yeah,
but it's fine.
But no, the Shield were dominant, which is good. I think they need to be. They need to show them.
As they have to. I mean, the very next night on Raw, they did the same.
Yeah, they're the 3 biggest names. Not biggest names, but 3 of the biggest names. They've all been champions.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good match, though. I thought it showed a lot of the good abilities of all of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there was that. One thing I didn't like about Survivor Series was the predictability. Not at the beginning. The first couple matches weren't predictable, but once...
But where they put it.
Well, once they start tracking wins and losses for Raw and SmackDown, you're like, all right.
So who's gonna win.
Now we had SmackDown up 3-2 going into the AJ Styles Brock Lesnar match. They're not going to go into the last match with it meaning nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously AJ Styles is going to lose that match because SmackDown's already winning.
Yeah.
So, not for nothing though, with the way the match went, he should have lost that match. He got manhandled by Brock Lesnar. He had some offense again.
That was Brock Lesnar's longest match in over 2 years.
Yeah,
it was 15 plus minutes.
Yeah, but he did good. Brock looked good in that match. I mean, I hate Brock Lesnar, but he looked good.
They had to have him actually have a long match because that's AJ Styles' game.
Right, that's what AJ does.
He's a long game guy. He's a stamina. So they wanted to show Brock having stamina.
Yep.
And they actually so that match actually looked more like versus other matches on the card. This match looked like a fight.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a wrestling match. They built it up to be like that big game fight between Brock Lesnar, the Beast, and AJ Styles, the best wrestler in the world.
Yep.
According to a lot of people.
Right.
I mean, but it is true. Like AJ's considered, he's been PWI's #1 wrestler of the world twice. So I believe he's
a great performer.
And there was some spots in that match where they actually looked like they were really connecting.
Yeah.
So it looked good.
Yeah.
It
was a high quality match, and again, I don't like Brock. I mean, I guess it's more the character and Paul Heyman that I don't like about Brock Lesnar. I mean, I've never had a problem with Brock Lesnar actually in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hate his overall gimmick and stupid Paul Heyman. But the predictability just became too much during Survivor Series, and it made me think about it, and it's becoming that. It's becoming pretty predictable. You know what to look for in every single match. The same things are going to happen for the wrestlers. Each wrestler is going to have their things go every match. Finn Balor, for example, he's always going to run and kick the guy in the face on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
Roman's always going to hit the spear. He may not win with it, but he'll always hit the spear. Things like that. That just, it kind of makes it. I mean, I still love it, obviously, but it makes it like,
really? Yeah. They should have let
deep six for Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Not his finisher, but it's a move that he hits in every single match.
They should have let Brock take the Styles Clash. Like that would have been cool.
I don't know if he could have done it.
AJ, he's strong.
I know he's strong,
You
but
could
it's
do
not.
it.
It's not just his weight, but his girth.
Yeah.
How big Brock is.
That'd have been cool to see, though.
It would have been cool to see, but I don't know if that'd have been tough. I mean, again, trust me, I had AJ at number 4 in my top 10. You know, and I don't even like the guy. So he's very talented. He's one of the best performers. But I think that would have been hard for him to do.
There's rumors that Vince doesn't want anyone to kick out the F5 until the WrestleMania this year.
Really?
And that's why Braun Strowman took that one to lose.
Yeah.
And that's why they were kind of talking about, originally it was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I mean, Royal Rumble.
But for
now
some reason,
canceled.
Vince doesn't think Finn's over with the crowd.
Yeah,
Has he watched the crowd when Finn Balor comes out to the ring?
Vince needs to give it to Triple H.
Well, though here's another thing. Whenever anybody comes out to the ring, they get a huge pop.
No,
it's
but
actually when they're in the ring.
He's a performer.
He is, and I love Finn Balor.
I mean,
he's one of my favorite guys.
But
he might not be wrong about him being over, because watching his matches, the fans aren't really that into it until he does his couple of things.
I think they're more worried about his injury too. Like, you know, they don't want him to get injured,
right?
And they don't want to count on him and then him get injured,
right?
So there's rumors of trying to figure out who's going to be the Rumble opponent.
The Rumble for Brock.
For Brock, and they had been talking about Braun Strowman, but they don't want Braun Strowman to lose another match with an F5.
Right.
They want him to, they want to protect him.
Right.
So it's looking like, who knows now? It's probably going to find out in the next, couple weeks.
Bray? I mean, you could do Bray. I mean,
Bray.
it's a different, I mean, he's not a great wrestler. Well, he's not a bad wrestler. But, I mean, his type of personality against Brock is different. You don't see that.
And they don't want Joe to take another loss like that either, because they want to build up Joe.
Right. Joe and Finn are going to be at it for a while, I think. I mean, and they don't mind Joe and Finn losing to each other because they're very equal competitors. But yeah, I mean, getting back to Survivor Series, the 5-on-5 match at the end was just, I call that when I saw the rosters. Braun Strowman owned that match.
Mm-hmm.
He knew it was going to happen. There was nobody on the SmackDown side that can hang with Braun Strowman. And one of my favorite guys was over there in Bobby Roode. And, I mean, he did all right, but...
I think they kind of dropped the boat. Like, they showed Shinsuke dominate the match, and then, boom, he's eliminated.
Well, yeah,
because Braun comes in. Yeah, they showed Bobby Roode dominate parts of the match, and eliminated.
Yep.
Finn Balor, again, dominated parts of the match,
yeah,
eliminated easy.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I don't like about it is, listen, I'm a big Triple H fan, big Kurt Angle fan, but look at some of the last people left in that match.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Orton.
Yep.
Shane McMahon, Triple H, Kurt Angle,
all the guys
and Braun Strowman. You know Braun Strowman wasn't going to get eliminated unless it was a count out.
Right. Which actually early in the match I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's how they're going to do it, and that's stupid.
And it's the only way he was going to get eliminated. So I did not like the fact that Triple H kind of put himself up there again as the spotlight.
Yeah.
Like, one of these newer guys should have been one of the last ones. I get why they did it. They had him pedigree Angle because it's going to be them two versus each other at WrestleMania, most likely.
Think it'll wait that long? You don't think it'll be the Rumble?
No, I think that's going to be a WrestleMania match.
It could be.
And I think that...
Well, at that point, you can bring out all the old home guys and have them come out.
It'd be cool.
But,
and then, obviously, Braun just dominating. And I love the end of the match when Braun power slammed Triple H twice.
Yep.
Did you watch the video online of Triple H selling, even going towards the ramp?
No.
So, he got the 2 power slams. Triple H is one of the best sellers in the industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's walking up the ramp. He's like this, yeah. He turns around and walks right into the metal. He misses the door completely. Walks right into the metal panel, and it falls down. And that it's Triple H just selling it because he's an epic seller.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
But then the next night you had Raw, where you saw a new Intercontinental Champion crown, Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
Very happy about that.
Because The Miz is taking a break.
2 reasons why I was happy about that. 1, The Miz lost the Intercontinental belt. I hate The Miz. Like, he's the one guy in all of wrestling that I can just say I hate.
But he's
more than
great
anything.
for wrestling.
But he lost, and Roman won. My favorite guy wins the IC champion, which is good. I don't think he's gonna hold it for long
No.
because that's not,
Placeholder.
I mean, not to sound like I'm putting down the IC champ, but that's always been number 2.
Yeah.
You know, number
well,
1 is
if he's scheduled to really fight Brock at WrestleMania, it's only gonna be for a little bit.
Yeah, he can't have. He'll probably lose it at the Rumble to somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe to Braun Strowman. Maybe they'll fight again.
I don't think Braun will ever go that route.
No, I don't know.
I think they want to put him, at the top.
Yeah, they do, but
There's
that's where Roman is.
no mid card guy will ever beat Braun.
Right. But so that happened. I was watching the match. It wasn't the Shield versus the Bar. I think it was just Cesaro versus Dean. Maybe it was the 2-on-2. But Sheamus looked completely disinterested in that match. Like I was watching, I'm like, this is terrible.
He's probably tired.
I'm like, he doesn't want to be here. Just his facial expressions and everything, and his effort that he was putting out there. I was just let down by him.
He's probably tired.
He might have been. I mean, he had a rough night the night before.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he's been going at it for a long time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really take a lot of time off breaks like many wrestlers.
Right. And then the other big news from Raw was Paige. Paige came back.
Yeah.
She looked a little weird.
Been rooming for a few
Did you
weeks.
see her face? Did you look at her face?
She's a little skinny.
It wasn't that. Her face looked like she had some work done.
Maybe.
But I mean, not that matters. I was just looking at her like weird.
Looks like a vampire.
But well, that's I mean, not to sound silly, but that's one of the reasons why I really like her as a wrestler because she's got that. It's like why I like the Undertaker and stuff like that. But I mean, she's obviously not to that extent, but she's very goth looking, and I like that look. But she wasn't alone. You know, she came with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and they destroyed the entire Raw Women's.
It's actually funny that they're getting promoted before people like Ember Moon, or the girl from Insanity, which they're not going to take her up anyways because they like Insanity.
Yeah, Sanity.
But
Sanity's good, but yeah, I mean they show up and they do that, and then the next night on Tuesday night you got Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan.
I was kind of confused at NXT Takeover why Ruby Riott wasn't involved.
Yeah,
and then I realized.
Yeah, although it's about time for Liv. I mean, she's been around forever. She's not that great, but she's been around for a long time.
She's dating. She was dating. What's his name for a little while? Enzo Mori.
Really?
Yeah, he cheated on her.
I feel bad for her.
That's probably why she's on SmackDown.
Yeah. But
do you know why they're bringing all these women up?
Well, yeah, there's a possible Royal Rumble.
They're doing a women's Royal Rumble this year, most likely. So.
And that's going to be interesting. I mean, I think it's a great idea, and I think it could work very, very well. My only concern with it is now you're going to have 2 Royal Rumble matches.
No, it's cool though.
I love the Royal Rumble. My favorite match of the year.
Women's one won't be as long. It'll probably be 20 women versus 30 women.
That's possible.
And then you're probably going to get a couple cool spots. Like you'll probably get Lita entered into the Rumble. Or Trish Stratus.
Trish maybe.
Yeah,
Lita, I don't know about Lita.
They'll probably bring a couple
She might get hurt.
Well, they'll probably bring a couple older women back just to do it.
Right, some of the classic
kind of
people.
cool
or
thoughts.
Pop in Ember Moon in there. You know, she doesn't have to be a permanent mainstay on the roster. You know, don't have her win, but have her show up. You know, as one of the
be pretty entrants
because it's like kind of like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal where they have some of the NXT people show up for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll be cool. I'm just concerned about the length of the pay-per-view at that point.
Yeah, I'm sure that it'll be like Survivor Series was 5 hours almost between the
pre-show, yeah.
So they'll do pre-shows.
Yeah.
You know, so it won't be bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's that with the women, and then what's going on with KO and Sami Zayn? I thought that they were like on the outs, and that's why they were doing it, but I don't think so. I think that them getting sent home from that event and all this stuff was all part of the storyline.
Yeah.
I think that
Vince
this
doesn't
is
do
just
anything
what they are. Everybody hates them, and you know, like it was funny during the lumberjack match. You know, Kofi Kingston gets thrown out to the outside like 3 times. Everybody's like, "Hey, it's okay, you know, go Kofi," and then they let him back in. And Sami Zayn goes out there, and even Baron Corbin is beating the crap out of him. You know, it's like, and Bobby Roode wanted to get in there.
They turned on SmackDown, so
right, exactly.
You know, Baron Corbin, they all wanted to win SmackDown.
Yeah, but I mean that storyline, I don't really like SmackDown, but I'm kind of enjoying that storyline over there.
SmackDown's better.
I like. I mean, Bobby Roode's over there. I love his matches, so I watch mainly for him. But this storyline's kind of got me interested too.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other thing I have is the Bludgeon Brothers.
They changed their names. They're not full names now. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
Eric
just
Rowan.
Rowan.
It's just Rowan and
I always
Harper.
want to say Rowan and Martin, but it's Rowan and Harper
versus the full names.
They are. It was only the hype bros, who aren't wonderful, but they destroyed them.
Yeah, they're gonna be the new.
They lived up to their name.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Them
versus the Usos is gonna happen soon.
Usos have been great the last year plus.
Usos are really good.
I love the heel turn.
I remember when I first started getting back into wrestling and I saw the Usos, I'm like, who are these guys? They look like small
sons.
Right. They look like, smaller Roman Reigns', which they're related to.
It's funny at that SmackDown when Roman Reigns, Shield, and all them came in, and the first two he sees is his cousins.
Yeah, and they just looked at each other. Yeah. Nobody did anything. So Seth and Dean came over and started attacking them. But that was pretty good that they did that. But yeah, so I mean the Bludgeon Brothers, they just look dominant. Yeah,
I didn't get to watch it, but I'm sure I'll catch up.
Like almost, I mean Cesaro and Sheamus are the same type of guys. They just beat the crap out of you. Sheamus is more technical than Cesaro is more technical than Sheamus, but that's what it made me think of was two Sheamuses on steroids, and that's not a good thing for anybody.
I think Rowan too. Like I think they both have been underutilized.
They definitely have. I mean because they've been sidekicks their entire career.
Yeah, Hopper. If you actually like a lot of the former wrestlers all talk about how good Hopper is, and how underutilized he's been in WWE.
Yeah, I mean
they looked like he was going to get a good singles push like a year or two ago, and then they brought back the Wyatt family. Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they're gonna dominate for a while. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I like their outfits too. The red and the black.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty good. Do you have anything for wrestling?
No, I mean that covers pretty much the whole week.
Yeah, it really did, didn't it?
I enjoyed the AJ Styles and Brock match for once. Brock put on a good performance.
Yep.
He sold it. He made it look like AJ really hurt him.
Yep.
Which he usually doesn't do with wrestlers.
Yeah.
So just reassures me that AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the world.
He's up there. I'll never call him the best. I shouldn't say never, but for now I won't call him the best. So that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
Leave us messages in the comments. Let us know what you think. Look for us on Twitter, on Facebook. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, give us feedback and we'll reach back out to you.
Yeah, have a great Thanksgiving. You already have, I'm sure.
Yeah, good weekend.
Yeah, and have a good rest of the weekend.
Take care.
See you next time.